empty-handed. It begs the question, could you take money from a chaser? Well, then please, come and have a go if you think you're clever enough. We'll see you next time on The Chase. Goodbye.
Potato.
Our top stories from 7 News. Tamborine Mountain rescue. A car plunges over a cliff in the Gold Coast hinterland. On board Australia's coronavirus evacuation flight, a jumbo jet loaded with passengers from Wuhan on the way to quarantine. A mother speaks out after her 3 children were run down and killed. Hear what she had to say to the man accused of ending her children's lives. The southeast swelters with high heat and humidity, but relief is on the way. And the superstars who stole the show at the Super Bowl.
This is 7 News Queensland with Amanda Abate.
Good afternoon. A car has plunged down Tamborine Mountain in the Gold Coast hinterland. You can see from the pictures from the 7 News helicopter, the vehicle has travelled 100 metres down the hill. It happened where hang gliders launched from the mountain. Fire crews descended with ropes and confirmed there was 1 person in the car. He's being treated for head, shoulder, arm, pelvic and leg injuries. Now they've got to get him out. A rescue helicopter has been assigned to the mountain. 7 News understands the vehicle went over the cliff sometime early this morning. The alarm was raised only this afternoon after tyre tracks leading to the edge of the embankment were discovered. An emergency flight filled with Australians fleeing the coronavirus epicentre is this afternoon approaching Australia. We have exclusive pictures from on board the plane showing more than 200 people desperate to get out of the disaster zone. El Giorgio is at Learmonth in Western Australia, where the plane is scheduled to land.
Good afternoon. This is a major undertaking for our federal government, which will all come to a head in about 2 hours' time, when this direct flight from Wuhan in central China touches down from the epicentre of this coronavirus outbreak here at Learmonth Air Base, just outside of Exmouth. On board are more than 250 Australian citizens on this Qantas flight, but once they get here, they won't be staying for long. They'll then be put onto 2 smaller planes that can safely land and make the 4-hour journey to Christmas Island. They'll then be there for 2 weeks to be quarantined at the empty detention centre to determine whether or not they have the deadly virus. Our Foreign Minister says so far this major evacuation operation has run successfully and smoothly, although it's still early days.
This has been a very orderly exercise, and I want to thank all those involved for that. We have prioritised vulnerable and isolated Australians, which is reflected in the fact that 89 of the Australians on the flight are aged under 16, and that includes 5 infants under 2.
The deadly coronavirus has now claimed the lives of more than 360 people across China. And yesterday, a man was confirmed to have died from the disease in the Philippines. That was the first known death outside of China. As I say, this Qantas aircraft will be touching down here at Learmonth Air Base, just outside of Exmouth, in about 2 hours' time, bringing with it more than 250 Australian residents who will then be taken to Christmas Island.
5 men are in hospital after scaffolding at a building site collapsed. It happened in Melbourne's north just after lunch. A man in his 20s and another in his 50s are in hospital in a serious condition. 3 others were treated for non-life-threatening injuries. WorkSafe investigators are now on scene. The heartbroken mother of 3 children killed by a driver allegedly 3 times over the legal drinking limit says she forgives the 29-year-old behind the wheel. Layla Abdallah spoke at the scene of the Sydney tragedy. Miley Hogan has more.
Well, this community is in pain. They are suffering from unimaginable grief as they mourn the loss of 4 young lives. Anthony Abdallah and his 2 younger sisters, Angelina and Sienna, and their cousin, Veronique Saker, were allegedly killed by a drunk driver on Saturday night. The mother of the 3 siblings arrived at the scene today, and while she was visibly shaken, she found the strength to forgive the 29-year-old man accused of running down her 3 babies.
Right now, I can't hate him. And I don't want to see him. I don't hate him. I think in my heart I forgive him. But I want the court to be fair, right? It's all about fairness.
29-year-old Samuel William Davidson is facing 20 charges, including 4 counts of manslaughter. It's alleged he was 3 times the legal limit when he mounted the curb on Bettington Road in Oatlands around 8 on Saturday night. The kids had been walking on the path just around the corner from their home. They were on their way to buy ice cream. 4 children were killed. Another 3 from the same extended family were taken to hospital but are now recovering well. The children's mother, Layla, giving an update on her other daughter who had surgery this morning.
She had 3 angels looking after her. I felt like Jesus was doing the surgery for her because he knows I can't afford to lose any more kids.
The memorial by the side of the road continues to grow. School friends have come and placed tributes to their lost classmates. Friends, family and complete strangers are coming to show their support as the whole community feels this tragic loss. The alleged drunk driver will remain behind bars until his case returns to court in April.
The long-awaited findings from the Dreamworld inquest will be handed down later this month. Kate Goodchild, Luke Dorset, Cindy Lowe and Ruzi Aragi died on the Thunder River Rapids ride in October 2016. The inquest hearings revealed a series of mechanical and safety failures and red flags that were ignored in the lead-up to the tragedy. After lengthy delays, Coroner James McDougall will hand down his findings in the Brisbane Magistrates Court on February 24. Former Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce will try to reclaim his old job as the Nationals jostle for positions ahead of a party room vote tomorrow. But on the eve of the fight, another bombshell resignation, this time from the highest level of the Greens.
In the home of leadership fights, one leader announces he's leaving, another anoints his son, a third hangs on like grim death.
Good, I thought I'd come and support you. Good, absolutely.
Tomorrow morning, the Nationals will replace Deputy Bridget McKenzie. She quit over a conflict of interest, but shrugs off claims she pork-barrelled tens of millions in taxpayer sports grants.
There was no political bias in my decision-making.
Queenslander David Littleproud is front-runner for Deputy Nationals leader, though...
I will be standing for the position.
And on 7 Sunrise, the best known of Parliament's 21 Nationals leapfrogged the 2IC job to declare himself a candidate for leader.
If there's a spill, Koshy, then I'll put my hand up.
No spill has been called, and I'm not expecting one to be.
The junior party in government has until tomorrow to decide whether they want Barnaby too, the man they once hailed as their great vote puller before his highly public marriage split, relationship with a staff member and resignation from the Deputy Prime Ministership.
Nobody has phoned me to say that there's a spill.
But several Nationals have balked at supporting their current leader. That's well short of the 11 votes Barnaby Joyce needs, but a start. This as Greens too prepare for a party room decision.
I'm resigning as parliamentary leader of the Australian Greens.
5 years at the Green helm, Richard Di Natale says he will leave the Senate to support wife Lucy Quatermain's career and spend more time with his young sons. Adam Bant and Larissa Waters, both possible replacements. As well, Bob Katter has handed the reins of his self-named party to son and Queensland State MP Robbie Katter. Tim Lester, 7 News.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has flagged major changes to parole laws to ensure those convicted for terror offences aren't released early from prison. It follows this morning's shooting death of a man in London's south who launched a stabbing rampage days after being released from prison. Hugh Whitfeld has more.
The attack happened here in a suburban part of South London, the busy Sunday afternoon shopping rush. The attacker, 21-year-old Sadesh Aman, who only in the last couple of days had been released from prison after pleading guilty to 13 terror offences, including the possession and distribution of extremist material believed to be a bomb-making manual. He was being actively tracked by counter-terrorist officers, and it was those officers who fired the fatal shots just after Aman attacked 2 people, stabbing them in the street. The police are treating this as a terror-related incident and Islamist-related terror incident at that. Police believing that at one stage Aman was wearing a suicide vest or explosive device. That has turned out to be a hoax device.
We are confident that this is an isolated incident that has been contained. Officers from our counter-terrorism command are investigating at pace.
One person is in hospital in a life-threatening injury. 2 others have non-life-threatening injuries in hospital. 2 people were stabbed. A 3rd person was injured by glass as a result of those officers opening fire. The attacker, Aman, described as knife-obsessed, and the Prime Minister saying in the next 24 hours he will announce fundamental changes to the system for dealing with those convicted of terror offences. As you'll remember, at the London Bridge attack 3 months ago, the attacker there had also recently been released from prison. There is a system here in the UK where people are released from jail halfway through their sentence. It's called being released on licence, and those people who are released are often actively tracked, and that tracking has increased since the London Bridge attack, but clearly not enough to prevent what happened here on the Streatham High Road in South London.
Temperatures have soared across southeast Queensland, but relief is coming. Gatton was one of the hottest towns today. Georgie Chumley is there.
It's more than 40 degrees outside, but here at Gatton's local pool, it's more than 10 degrees cooler in the water. Dozens of school kids and adults alike today taking the opportunity to cool off on the scorching day.
It's been really hot.
Temperatures soared across the southeast 5 to 6 degrees above average.
We seem to really cop it lately. Hey, this year's been really bad.
With most trying to keep cool inside, like these horses at UQ Gatton, in specially air-conditioned rooms.
21 degree comfort today in this hot temperature. It's really important that people monitor their horses, monitor water intake, and then shade's obviously really important as well.
But for some, getting out of the heat isn't an option. Brisbane Traffic Controller Peter tries to keep cool.
We try to keep cool by drinking and hanging under trees.
But even by his standards,
bloody hot.
How is the rest of Queensland keeping cool? We'll have the full story tonight on 7 News at 6.
Well, now to Tony Auden at Ipswich, and relief from the heat isn't far away, Tony.
Good afternoon, Amanda. Yes, thankfully we won't have to wait too long for that drop in temperatures as cloud and even some rainfall picks up over southern Queensland. It will be a nice change for those inland parts of the southeast, like here in Ipswich, that have been sweltering today. Let's move on to the maps and check that forecast rainfall for tomorrow. And the coloured shades on your screen here show that forecast shower and storm activity picking up over southern Queensland during the day tomorrow. And the rain is set to hang around longer term, with some heavy falls possible through the middle of the week. And much of the southeast should see a good 50 to 100 millimetres of rain during the next week or so, with some coastal spots possibly up around 200 or 300 millimetres. And very welcome rain should also continue to fall well inland as well. Now, all of this cloud, as I mentioned, will be a drop in temperatures up to 10 degrees by inland parts of the southeast for tomorrow, but while we are seeing heat like today's more regularly. Here is the average January top temperature for Ipswich over the past 50 years. Amongst the variation, there is a strong trend. Those maximum temperatures are now averaging around 1.5 degrees hotter than back in 1970. Amanda, I'll be back soon with the forecast.
Okay, thanks, Tony. He was a police dog stabbed on the weekend in the line of duty. Next, a live update on the condition of chaos as he's operated on again. Chris Hemsworth joins hundreds of people for a special tribute at Currumbin Beach. And what Margot Robbie said at the BAFTAs to have William and Kate laughing at Harry's expense.
Everywhere you look, news is happening.
Federal authorities are doing everything they can to prevent that spread going any further.
Through all the congestion, all the confusion,
Kobe Bryant will be immortalised in basketball's Hall of Fame.
one source rises night after night above all others.
We begin with breaking news tonight.
Australian Transport Safety Bureau has been made aware of this afternoon's incident. Victims had no memory of the attack.
What do you have to say about the allegations?
Bringing home all the day's biggest stories really matters. It's where the Southeast turns to for the most trusted news service.
You are the My Kitchen Rules champions.
The Sausage Man has never done anything like this. Will his secret weapon take Manu's champs to the top? My Kitchen Rules, tonight 7:30 on 7.
Liven up your lunch with Tip Top sandwich thins. They're super soft and light, and each one is only 99 calories, so you can enjoy a softer, lighter lunch. Now available in Tip Top burger thins.
Dave was very clear how he wanted today to be, and here we are.
it's exactly as planned. Thanks to White Lady Funerals.
Planning and prepaying your funeral with White Lady helps your family to respect your wishes.
Relax and reward yourself. Save up to 50% off the best in Australian design at the King Living annual summer sale. So why buy ordinary furniture when you can come home to King Furniture?
Imagine if you took Coca-Cola No Sugar and full-on froze it. Well, now you don't have to. Head down to Macca's and try the new frozen Coke No Sugar for just $1. Exclusive to Macca's.
When choosing paracetamol to relieve pain, it's important to know not all are the same. Panadol with Optizorb has an advanced formula to deliver paracetamol more efficiently and be absorbed faster. Imagine this is your stomach and this vinegar your stomach acid. Watch how Panadol with Optizorb's patented delivery system goes to work.
Panadol Optizorb, fast and effective pain relief that's gentle on the stomach.
Available at your pharmacy or supermarket. This has been Medifax for Panadol with Optizorb.
Air conditioning is really important here for your comfort. We thought, well, ducted air conditioning is the way to go, and sometimes it's good just to flick it on before bed and help you sleep. That's how Mitsubishi Electric works for me.
Land Rover sales season comes with an unprecedented $20,000 worth of extras on the special edition Range Rover Sport. Acquire yours before sales season goes.
Viking, the thinking person's cruise, with no kids and no casinos.
Viking's Explorer sale now on. Save up to $4,000 per couple. Call 138747 or see your Viking travel agent.
I love to start each morning with a little me time. And since building our deck and patio, I can enjoy the fresh air while I prepare for the day. Thanks to Apollo Patios, we've built a better lifestyle.
Apollo Patios. Today we'll be offering... They're gone. What do you mean they're gone? The snacks. They're gone. Missing. Well, they have to be here somewhere. They're not here. They can't just get up and walk away.
All right, only 13 more hours to go. You're gonna have to hold it.
I work hard for my money, and that's why I'm happy that being with Australian Super feels more like I'm in a circle than a super fund. A circle with more than 2 million members. And it's my small, simple actions along the way, combined with the expert help I get, that has grown my money in ways I never could alone. I guess that's why they've made so much money for members for so long.
It's Australian, it's super, and it's yours.
Chris Hemsworth has joined hundreds of people in a paddle out at Currumbin Beach. It was to honour the late Johnny Munro, the former captain and president of the Vikings Surf Life Saving Club. The Thor actor is a good friend of the Munro family. A surf boat was named in recognition of Johnny Munro before his ashes were scattered at sea. A police dog stabbed during a weekend arrest is right now undergoing surgery. Elliot Chipper joins us live. Elliot, this is round 2 for Chaos.
Yes, Amanda, this operation is quite routine though. It's just to clean the wound and check to see if there isn't any long-term nerve damage. Earlier today, Chaos was up and about and looking very lively following a life-saving operation. Just hours earlier, he was stabbed with a 12-centimetre knife. That occurred during an arrest in Gordon Park. Police today commending Chaos for his fortitude and courage.
The fact that he sustained a stab wound and continued his police dog duties and apprehended 2 suspects.
Now, since Chaos has been here at the veterinary hospital, his carer as well as other police officers have kept a 24-hour vigil, never leaving his side. If this afternoon's operation does go well, Chaos should be back on active service in 3 to 4 weeks.
That's very good news. Thank you for that. There's a new warning over the dangers of cigarette butts after researchers discovered they can emit toxins for up to 7 days after being extinguished. The Queensland Cancer Council has issued a stark warning in light of the findings. It means even if you don't smoke and avoid people smoking, you are still at risk. Scientists believe each butt emits almost 15% of the nicotine that a burning cigarette gives off, posing a greater danger to non-smokers than initially thought. Australia's hopes of taking home a BAFTA award have been dashed after actress Margot Robbie was overlooked for Best Supporting Actress. But the Aussie Golden Girls still managed to make waves, accepting an award on behalf of Brad Pitt. Sarah Greenhalgh was there.
Well, a disappointing result for Margot Robbie, but the Australian did manage to create one of the most memorable moments of the evening, reading out an acceptance speech written by co-star Brad Pitt, who won for Best Supporting Actor for his role in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The speech managed to make two gags, one about Brexit, the other about Megxit.
Okay, he starts by saying, "Hey Britain, heard you just became single, welcome to the club. Wishing you the best with the divorce settlement." Oh, and he says that he is going to name this Harry because he is really excited about bringing it back to the States with him. His words, not mine.
That line delivered directly in front of Prince William and Kate. By far the big winner of the evening was 1917, the epic British war film directed by Sam Mendes. It was nominated for 9 awards. It managed to take out 7, including Best Film and Best Director.
To me, to get this in my hometown for the first time and to be able to say thank you to my beautiful family.
Renee Zellweger won Best Actress for her role in Judy, Joaquin Phoenix winning Best Actor for his portrayal in The Joker. The BAFTAs are widely considered the best indicator of which movies and performances will be successful at the Oscars. They're on in 1 week's time.
First bikes, then scooters. Now electric ride-sharing mopeds are about to hit the streets. The elephant that needed a helping hand to get out of a hole. And Shakira and Jennifer Lopez wow a sellout Super Bowl crowd.
Almost $500,000 buried on a building site. But who owns it? The shock twist in the Gold Coast's biggest mystery on 7 News tonight. Almost $500,000 buried on a building site. But who owns it? The shock twist in the Gold Coast's biggest mystery on 7 News tonight.
Built to carry the clan. Designed for the ones in charge. Luxury for your world and theirs. New Mazda CX-9.
Flash flooding for parts of the state, so please avoid any unnecessary travel.
Just go, seriously.
Just go around him.
Stop fighting, please.
Nah, back it up.
When you're faced with floodwater, the smartest and bravest thing you can do is back it up. If it's flooded, forget it. Search Back It Up today.
Authorised by the Queensland Government, Brisbane.
Installation's simple. You just plug in.
And play.
We put Vanish to the test by sending influencer Mel Watts something she's always wanted.
Love it.
Covered in a tough stain.
Is that red wine? I mean, I could try and do a hot wash, but it will ruin the dress.
Half a scoop cold water. I don't know, it's a pretty bad stain. We can give it a go.
It is actually working. I can't even see where the stain was.
For amazing results, just cold wash with Vanish Oxy Action.
Your dream home can slip through your fingers without the right plan. But with home loan know-how from your local Rams home loan specialist, we'll help you take the right steps to make your dream home possible. Walk like a Ram and talk to us today. Rams, greater together.
The rollout of electric rideshare mopeds in Brisbane has been delayed by a glitch in the booking software. Operator E-moped says it won't have its electric motorcycles on the road until next week at the earliest. It's reporting a problem with the mobile phone app. Meanwhile, the state government says it will be checking the safety of the scooters.
They need to be ridden appropriately with a helmet, and they have to have the appropriate licence.
Brisbane Council says it was made aware of the potential of the e-mopeds through media reports. Britain has ruled out sticking with European Union rules and regulations in any post-Brexit trade deal. Boris Johnson will seek fresh trading relationships with all 27 EU countries in the coming months. Formal deals won't have to be cemented inside the 11-month transition period, but the government says keeping the status quo would defeat the point of Brexit. East Africa is enduring its worst locust season in 70 years. It's so bad, officials in Kenya have resorted to firing machine guns and tear gas into swarms in a bid to stop them consuming crops. Aircraft spraying pesticide have also been deployed. The United Nations is warning if the outbreak isn't controlled, the locust plague could spread to 30 countries in Africa and Asia. A young elephant has been rescued after becoming trapped down a ditch. An excavator was brought in to help lift the animal out of the pit in eastern India. Once it was back on its feet, the elephant returned into the forest. Millions of fans around the world have tuned in to America's Super Bowl. Not only did they see Australian sporting history being made, but also a spectacular halftime show. US correspondent Amelia Brace was at the game in Miami.
Yeah, I'm here exclusively in the 49ers dressing room, and it wasn't the fairy tale ending for Mitch Wishnowsky, but it was the fairy tale start. It was a hard-fought first half. The 49ers were up against the Chiefs battling a 50-year Super Bowl drought, and it was a rare tied game as they paused for the famous Super Bowl halftime show. Oh, baby, when you talk like that, you make a woman go mad. Then it was Jenny from the block herself, Jennifer Lopez, wowing the sellout crowd. Plenty of celebrities were in the stands, Beyonce, Paul McCartney, and for those at home, plenty more in the ads.
What'd you expect?
I don't know. Me?
Safety first.
Yeah. That feels pretty darn good. Oh.
In the end, it was all about what happened on the field. The Chiefs fighting back against the Niners. With just a couple of minutes left, Kansas City sealed the deal.
Into the end zone for the touchdown! And Andy Reid gets to celebrate with his team.
It was tough for the 49ers, but well-deserved for the Chiefs. 50 years since they played or won a Super Bowl.
Well, if you're on the Gold Coast, the chase is up next. Then I'll see you for 7 Gold Coast News at 5:30. For the rest of Queensland, good news for homeowners. Prices are on the way up in Brisbane. We check the state of play around the nation. A fresh scandal rocks lingerie giant Victoria's Secret. And last drinks at the Coutha Cafe. So what's next for the Lookout?
I can't believe I'm telling you this. It's huge, I can hear it.
Sounds like a jet engine.
Have you ever seen a fire like this?
Never.
The last word you said, I promise I'll be safe.
Those that work under me save the lives of many.
I'm right.
I'm a very proud captain.
Australia has seen a lot of bushfires. We have never seen anything like this.
Hellfire, the 7 News event, Tuesday, 9 o'clock.
Get $2,000 towards your holidays with Apollo Patios. Just purchase a patio, custom deck, room enclosure or carport and call today to receive $100 in holiday rewards and a free design appraisal. Contact your local Apollo dealer.
we going to get the money?
You need Wallet Wizard. Fast and easy cash loans. walletwizard.com.au.
Cirque du Soleil's newest creation, Curios, has arrived into Brisbane.
You get to see amazing things. Do not miss it.
Curios, Cabinet of Curiosities, now playing under the big top. Book today.
What strange magic is this? How did I get here?
It's okay, man. It's a 5G thing. It's called bandwidth. That's how we all got here. It means more players can play different games all at the same time.
Witchcraft?
It's Holden's 2019 plate clearance with 7 years free scheduled servicing.
Free? As in free?
100% totally free? Free?
Free, as in free as a birth free.
Yep. And it's across our Holden range. With Holden, you got this.
Dear mind, you're a decent bloke. You'll be there till the job is done. But you need to be there for yourself too. Slow down. Appreciate some me time. And the little things, like the sound of laughter. But above all, learn to love the bloke everyone else loves so much. Take care, me.
Create a healthier relationship with your mind. Learn more at qld.gov.au/mental wellbeing. Authorised by the Queensland Government, Brisbane.
This is 7 News Queensland with Amanda Abate.
Thanks for joining us. Making news this Monday afternoon. A difficult rescue operation is about to get underway on Tamborine Mountain in the Gold Coast hinterland. A car has plunged more than 100 metres down a cliff face. The male driver is currently being treated by paramedics. An emergency flight carrying Australians from the coronavirus epicentre in China is approaching Australia. These exclusive pictures show more than 200 people desperate to get out of the disaster zone. And former Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce will try to reclaim his old job when the Nationals hold a party room vote tomorrow, and Greens leader Richard Di Natale has decided to quit politics. We have some breaking news now. The global death toll from the coronavirus has jumped. More than 360 people have died in China and over 17,000 are now infected. Chris Reason is on Christmas Island, where Australians evacuated from China are about to be quarantined.
Good afternoon. Throughout the weekend, the 14-member AUSMAT medical assistance team has been busily preparing for the arrival of the Australian evacuees here to Christmas Island, but there have been major delays in getting them here. 7 News has been following the journey of 2 young Australians, Rob Kellett and Josh Nielsen, delighted to have been able to get a spot on the Qantas rescue plane, but telling us it's been an odd aircraft. The
borrowing capacity, I believe strains are expected.
Under fire, accused of an entrenched culture of report. Current and former executives, employees, contract. Journalist says supermodel on would meet broadcast standards.
He went on to say that what
out of context, Wexner refused to comment. A company.
Our finance by another massive sell-off with the
20 points early. We did slightly recover from that, but still of gold stocks improving. The Aussie dollar slightly higher at 67 US cents as well.
The cafe and restaurant at Mount Cootha Lookout will be closed until the end of the year. Hospitality company Jimmy's on the Mall will take over the lease, paying $20 million over the next 20 years. After 37 years, the current operators will close the cafe for the last time tonight.
Pretty sad time for us, really, a bittersweet. We've been very fortunate and grateful to have this place for such a long time.
From tomorrow, coffee and food carts will cater for those who visit the Lookout. Shane Webke will have sport, including more on the Super Bowl, plus what Queensland Health wants you to consider as you pack school lunches this year. And Angel Smith was the target of bullies, not anymore. Her total turnaround.
On 7 News, the southeast's scorcher. Now for the rain. Tony Auden's forecast. Electric mopeds set to hit our streets. Good news for homeowners on property prices. Who owns the $500,000 buried on a building site? And Chris Hemsworth's touching tribute at Currumbin. 7 News at 6.
Tonight, get ready.
Mommy?
Get off the field!
Go! Leaving me here on my own, it's a cruel summer. Now you're gone.
Mommy! Get away from the water! Get away from the water!
The new series event, 911. Tonight after MKR on 7.
You might see her miss out on the excursion, but you don't see her parents struggling to make ends meet. You might see her worn-out uniform.
For a see your local Mazda dealer before it ends.
The Morella, a handy remote control holder, the ultimate cubby house, an impromptu ballet bar, and it also happens to be a super comfy sofa. Find your fantastic in-store or online today.
Imagine if you took Coca-Cola No Sugar and full-on froze it. Well, now you don't have to. Head down to Macca's and try the new frozen Coke No Sugar for just $1. Exclusive to Macca's.
They call me Hell. They call me Stacy. They call me Her. They call me Jane. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name.
With Belong, you get unlimited broadband for $65 a month on a 12-month plan. That means you get unlimited summer lovin', unlimited splashing out, online or under the sprinkler, unlimited backyard hits, or unlimited free time, all with no upfront fees for standard activation. Because we all love summer differently, we all use broadband differently too. Together, we're different. Belong.
The bestest picnic ever. Mum and Gran will be there. And Tommy's there, but he's a koala. Then Dad can ride in on the unicorn. No, a piece of corn. And there's cupcakes and magical fairies. And yummy sandwiches, but not any sandwiches. Gigantic sandwiches. And it starts raining fairy bread. Yeah! That would be awesome. Meadow Lee!
Oh, wow. Will be made. New challenges.
Gonna go the big one. Go the big one.
Will be set. Records smashed.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
New chase is here, and it starts with an absolute cracker. Coming up next on 7.
For many parents, a lot of thought goes into the food they pack for their children's school lunches. Now mums and dads are being urged to think of their kids' classmates as well to help keep students with food allergies safe. Mackenzie Rawn has more.
Well, school is back, and that means so too is the routine of packing lunches. For many parents, the focus has long been on ensuring their children have a range of healthy options. But now Queensland Health is urging mums and dads to also think about other children by ensuring the food they pack is allergy friendly.
It helps other parents to feel that their young children are quite safe going to school.
Peanut and cow's milk allergies are the most common, affecting 2% of children, and it's those with a nut allergy that face the biggest risk of severe reaction, including life-threatening anaphylaxis, something both of McGowie's and Yemba's children know too well.
You feel helpless, and the child's scared as well, like you can see the fear in their eyes.
Keeping lunchboxes allergy-friendly doesn't have to be difficult, with plenty of safe and tasty options to choose from.
It's responsible for parents not to send peanut paste and things like hard-boiled egg that's been mashed. When they're putting muesli bars in, just make sure that they've got a nut-free one.
Parents of children with allergies are also encouraged to educate their kids on the importance of not sharing lunches or accepting food from other parents, teachers or students unless they know it's safe.
Sport time now, and Shane, controversy for Novak Djokovic.
That's right, Amanda. The 8-time Australian Open champion Sissy didn't cross the line by making contact with the chair umpire during last night's gripping win over Dominic Thiem in the men's final. Djokovic sarcastically tapped the official's foot, hit with consecutive code violations for time wasting in the second set.
Great job. You made yourself famous. Well done.
I thought it was a nice, really friendly touch. I wasn't aggressive with him.
From 2 sets to 1 down, the Joker clawed his way back to win a 5-set classic lasting nearly 4 hours.
It's an 8th Australian Open championship for Novak.
The new world number one now has 17 Grand Slam titles, 3 shy of Roger Federer's record. Reds playmaker Isaac Lucas believes his side's learnt the lesson, taking the foot off the throttle in the wake of Friday's season-opening 3-point loss to the Brumbies. Now based in Johannesburg for this weekend's Lions clash, the Queenslanders were in good spirits, trying to find a balance during one of world sport's toughest road trips.
Canberra last week, South Africa this week, and then again Argentina next week. So it's pretty tough, but it's a challenge that we're all liking and excited for.
In the UK, a forgettable return to rugby league for Sonny Bill Williams. The Toronto Wolfpack's $10 million recruit knocked on 3 times in the loss to Castleford at Headingley. Brisbane's Jesse Williams remains the only Australian to win a Super Bowl ring after Mitch Wisnowski's San Francisco 49ers came up agonisingly short. The punter from Perth had the honour of getting the NFL decider underway in Miami this morning. His 49ers led the Chiefs by 10 points in the final quarter before some Patrick Mahomes magic.
Launches down the middle, Hill, open, caught, the big play.
The longest play of the game sparked a run of 3 unanswered touchdowns. Kansas City ran out 31-20 winners. Coach Andy Reid got the Gatorade shower. Mahomes was the MVP. Amanda, been a massive day in sport. We have plenty more tonight at 6.
Okay, thanks. See you then, Webby. Well, soon after she started school, Angel Smith was the target of bullies. But then she took up martial arts, and now no one dares tease her, thanks to her mentor.
Bill Wakefield has long been a crusader against bullying. He says teaching youngsters martial arts is not about training them to use brute force.
Confidence and leadership. If they've got the confidence, they're going to be able to walk away from an uncomfortable situation.
Meet Angel Smith.
In Year 2, I was actually getting bullied and I wasn't very happy with it, and I always went home and encouraged my parents about it.
They brought her here to Bill to learn martial arts.
Most people think martial arts is about punching and kicking and fighting. It's not. It's using the benefits of what martial arts is about, is to make us better people, to break the cycle of violence in our community.
Most girls get bullied by others because they're jealous, and also they're getting bullied by their boyfriend.
Angel learned to fight back with non-violent language as part of her training.
Stop it, I don't like it, I feel good about myself, never say that to me ever again.
Statistics show that bullying starts the day students start school. Therefore, it's important to get on top of it early. Skills honed here are also showing long-term benefits.
Because if we give our kids the opportunity to be future leaders, then our community is going to feel safer and we're going to have better people in the community.
The other benefit, Angel is now a junior world champion. She's not bullied anymore. Steve Titmus, 7 News.
Well, Tony Auden is live from Ipswich next to tell us when the heat will end and the rain will arrive. Also, Mark Zuckerberg feeling under pressure to censor more Facebook posts. And it's Groundhog Day in the US. A big crowd turns out for the furry creatures forecast.
Almost $500,000 buried on a building site. But who owns it? The shock twist in the Gold Coast's biggest mystery on 7 News tonight.
Good afternoon, Dave Andrews here in the Auto Leaders traffic chopper. Well, a couple of dramas earlier this afternoon on the Bruce Highway. A crash up around Caboolture and Burpengary. Gone now, but still got some delays heading up through that stretch. And a 2-car nose to tail on the Pacific Motorway outbound, just around Marquee Street through Greenslopes. Delays back into the city. Feeling the heat? An Auto Leaders air conditioning service will keep your car nice and cool this summer with no surprises on your bill. Book online at autoleaders.com.au, and I'll be back to check the roads again for you in the morning.
Australia's biggest week of sport this year is here. Thursday, the Challenger Final decides who will make the Big Bash Grand Final. Oh, God! Friday, AFLW kicks off with a blockbuster clash. A huge kick! Then, Saturday, India test our Aussie champs in the women's T20. That is amazing! Then, Warren Ponty leading the who's who of cricket for the Bushfire Bash. Then, the massive Big Bash Grand Final. What a way to finish it! Australia's biggest week of sport this year starts Thursday on 7.
I'm Paris and I'm a butcher.
I'm Jake. I'm a vegetarian.
How important is it to stand up for what you believe in?
Very, very important. Like, I think everybody should. What about you?
Sometimes you've just got to put your hand up and say, well, this is what I think about it.
The screen lifts.
Hi. So you're a vegetarian. I'm a butcher.
What?
Two opposites, but we still have so much in common.
It's amazing the connections we make when we talk.
Mr. Rogers, the beloved children's television host.
His show touched millions of lives. His friendship changed one. Academy Award nominee for Best Supporting Actor, Tom Hanks. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, in cinemas now.
Brisbane just keeps getting better. The Brisbane Metro is now underway, and it'll run every 3 minutes, making it smoother to get around. This is Brisbetter.
When you want to update your home's air conditioning, you'll want air with smart automation. Air that's quiet and air that saves energy. A lot of energy. Isn't it time you updated your air conditioner? Mitsubishi Electric. Works for me.
The Toyota Corolla comes as a hatch and a sedan, so you can turn on the fun in more ways than one. Turn on the fun with Toyota Corolla. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
With its quality flavours, don't just make it amazing. Cascade.
Isn't it funny how different our kids are? The way they do things their own way and have different tastes. Luckily, Tip Top has a range of bread that has all the fibre, vitamins and minerals they need in white, wholemeal and kids' grains. Tip Top the one for everyone.
New moves.
Oh, wow.
Will be made. New challenges.
Gonna go the big one. Go the big one.
Will be set. Records smashed.
The hunter becomes the hunted.
New chase is here, and it starts with an absolute cracker. Coming up next on 7.
Good afternoon, you're watching 7 News. Checking the weather now from here at Ipswich, where it's been a scorcher today, as it has been for much of the southeast. But that sun is thankfully setting over the western horizon, and we are expecting a cooler change into tomorrow. More on that in a second. But first, let's get into the maps and check today's temperatures. A top of 39 degrees here in Ipswich. Further inland, Gatton led the way on 41. Only a little bit cooler closer to the coast. 23 up to 35 in Brisbane, while the Sunshine Coast pushed up to 36. Onto the satellite, this hot air is trapped ahead of an inland trough. It's also triggering storms well inland and down into northern New South Wales. Tomorrow that trough moves north, bringing a cooler change, southeast wind change, then enough moisture for some showers, then storms across the southeast. It'll be the start of a few wet days across southern Queensland. Around the capitals tomorrow, Perth heats up, a top of 40 degrees there, a sunny 26 in Adelaide and a cloudy 24 in Sydney. Back to northern Queensland, a little bit quieter than recent days. Weipa could see a storm, Mount Isa some showers, then mostly sunny on the east coast, a top of 34 in Townsville. Heading south, the blue on your screen here shows the peak of storm activity should take off. That's well inland, including around Roma and Longreach. Showers and the odd rumble on the coast as the heat remains for the Capricornia and Wide Bay and Burnett districts. Back to the southeast, cooler, cloudier, a few showers developing during the course of the day, most likely later. A couple of storms in the mix in the afternoon as well. 24 up to just 30 degrees here in Ipswich and high 20s for the rest of the region. Now, we could see some heavy falls during the course of the week. Amanda, I'll have all the details coming up at 6.
Thanks, Tony. Let's check in on what's coming up in the news at 6 now. And Max, the Wuhan coronavirus evacuees are Australia bound.
They are, Amanda, and our reporters are in place in key locations. At 6, we'll have the latest details on the aircraft movements and measures to stop the spread of that infection.
And one of our best-known landmarks won't be the same again.
No, Amanda, tonight we dig a little deeper into the new lease arrangement at the Mount Cootha Cafe and Restaurant. And the transition doesn't look like it will be a smooth one. We'll have more on that story soon.
OK, and it was the bizarre backyard discovery that had everyone talking.
Yeah, almost $500,000 found buried on a vacant Gold Coast block. There were wild rumours and plenty of tall stories being told about where it might have come from. But tonight, Only 7 News tracks down the people laying claim to that massive cash haul. That exclusive story, plenty more coming up at 6.
Very interesting. Thank you, Max. It's Groundhog Day and America's most famous meteorologist, Punxsutawney Phil, has delivered his highly anticipated forecast. Some welcome news for those shivering through winter. The groundhog did not see his shadow. That means spring will come early in the US this year. It's a tradition that goes back more than 130 years, but getting a groundhog's opinion is not an exact science, and Phil has been wrong before. Now let's check in on social media, and Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg says he's uncomfortable with demands to censor content on the social media site. Zuckerberg says Facebook is going to stand up for free expression and will only take down really harmful material. A trailer's been released for Quiet Place 2 starring Emily Blunt. In the sequel, the family realises the creatures that hunt by sound are not the only threats lurking in the outside world. The movie opens in Australia on March 19. And dozens of people have taken part in a bizarre race in the US state of Wisconsin. Contestants build their own outhouses for the annual toilet trot in the snow. The festival raises more than $50,000 each year for community clubs. It's a great effort. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter and on Instagram. That's Queensland's 4 p.m. news for this Monday. Stay with us now for The Chase and then 7 News at 6. I'm Amanda Abate. Have a great afternoon.
Champions.
Our main goal was to win the prize money to start a family through IVF. And we did.
And this time around, have you got another...
Emmy would love a sister. We know how life-changing it was the first time.
I want to kick Colin's butt.
There's the sausage man. So, are we getting a corn sausage, a chicken sausage? I don't know.
The sausage man has never done anything like this.
And with a fancy sausage, we need a fancy sauce.
Will his secret weapon take Manu's champs to the top?
Oh my God!
It looks amazing. Come on, let's bring it on, Steph.
Yes.
It's so early in the competition that I can't believe we're actually going to do this.
Australia's most loved team cook on My Kitchen Rules, only on 7. Dan and Steph cook tonight 7:30 on 7.
These 4 strangers must work as a team to win thousands of dollars, but